Our advertisers help sponsor our content so we can keep bringing it to you for free. Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, do not necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you prefer to hear the show completely ad-free, head on over to patreon.com/pinkshademonkeys and subscribe. Hey y'all, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Monday and I've got Keisha here and it's really Monday. Like we're actually recording on Monday and it's going to be released on Monday. Because on Sunday I had to say it was Tuesday and I was confused the whole time. It's good for me to record on the actual release day. How you doing, Keisha?
I'm doing okay. I probably won't cough as much this episode like I have the last couple of weeks. I'm on a steroid pack. The cough has been so big. I haven't recorded my own show in 2 weeks.
Oh my god!
Because when I'm recording with you, I can rely on you. I can turn my mic off and go cough. But on my own show, there's just producer James would probably strangle me. Like, do you know how much editing I had to do? So right after this, I'm recording. I'm so happy.
And you have a steroid pack for your cough. That's good.
Well, it was for a whole bunch of other stuff, but it's helping the cough as well. So hey. Do your work, magical steroid pack.
What are you going to be discussing on Libra Lounge with Keisha?
All of these crazy celebrities. It's like, Drake Bell going missing, the Kardashians getting dissed at Adele's concert, Katy Perry bringing up Northwest. I want to be all in their business and talking shit about them because they're rich and beautiful.
And when do you put out this episode?
As soon as producer James does all his work, which it'll probably be tonight. So it may get posted later tonight or early Tuesday morning.
Okay.
Today's Monday, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Remember, we just said today's Monday.
Okay, we up so early this Monday, though.
I know. I am fully in pajamas, like top and bottom match, like fully in pajamas.
So I was so damn mad about being up so early. I just got dressed. I'm like, I'm just going to get dressed for the goddamn day. And
girl.
I'm dressed. I know.
I don't do that. Sometimes I go from these pajamas, shower, and then put on like nighttime pajamas. Like I just go from daytime pajamas because if I'm not leaving the house, like why waste I'm not going to put on like jeans or anything to like walk around my house and clean up shit.
Right. Yeah, no. Right. So I've got errands to run, but usually, I'm in a lounger.
Yeah, but you always look good. You always look good.
You're being a good liar today.
No. Listen, guys, Keisha and I are so excited because we've been talking about BravoCon. BravoCon is coming up in November. I was like talking about it yesterday. I go, I have no less than 4 trips between now and then, like things I have to plan and then like one big one after. But why am I so focused on this one? Because it's going to be the most fun. It's
our Super Bowl. It's, it's our Olympics. This is what we do. These are our people right here. Yes. So yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was trying to tell you earlier, I was like, when you go to BravoCon, you get the app and then like a couple of days before they start populating everything. So it'll be like 10 o'clock. You could do a photo shoot with, Shep and Catherine from Southern Charm, or you could go to a panel, or you could go to the Lay's Chips lounge. It's like all these things. It'll be like 3-4 things in each slot. And then you have to like, look, okay, whatever is the drama at the time, like let's say if Vanderpump Rules has a panel and that shit's still going on, which I guess it still will be or whatever, you want to go to that, right? So you gotta like strategically figure out, I got to get in that line first. I got to do this. And it's, I enjoy that because I love an organized app where you can like star the things you want to see. Maybe that's why I like to go on a Disney cruise because everything's real organized.
You're so organized. Much like producer James.
Yeah. I like to get my schedule in order. Yes.
And I'm its polar opposite. I'm like, let's just go with the flow. Let's just
go with the flow. You got to go get on your running shoes and get ready.
Mary Payne, my goal is to not have to have my husband roll me in on a luggage cart into Caesar's Palace.
You know what?
Like the last time I was there.
I think that's an achievable goal. I think that you can right now start saying, I will not drink on the plane. I will not eat an edible or whatever you may have done to yourself,
It was
allegedly.
the edibles. Like, you have to follow special instructions because the edibles will fool you into thinking you need way more. Well, part of the reason was I forgot that I had like little apricots, and I forgot
Okay.
they had weed inside of them.
Oh,
So we had gone to a drag brunch and we had like bottomless mimosas. I
fun.
was like, man,
Yeah.
I'm kind of hungry. Just started snacking on them, and James was like, Keisha, did you forget what those have in them? I'm like,
Uh-oh.
oh shit. And so when
Uh-oh.
it hit. I don't remember anything but throwing up. I don't know. He
Oh,
had to tell me about rolling me into the hotel.
I'm sure that you're not the first person has ever been rolled in or out of a hotel on
Probably
a
not.
luggage cart.
not in Vegas for damn sure. So that's my goal for this trip. I'm gonna be
All right.
sensible.
Well, let me tell you what. You have to be. You have to keep your wits about you because by the time night comes, you'll be like me. You'll be up in a bar getting felt up by Shep Rose trying to escape. Because he
I
doesn't
want
discern.
to
He
see
doesn't
that
care.
happen.
Yeah, he
I want to
doesn't
see that
discern.
happen.
An old
Oh
lady, a
shit.
young lady, he's fine. He doesn't care. So we're going to have a good time. And I'm already getting together with Amy Phillips. We're coming up with something to do with her. And we're talking with Ryan Bailey. And then we've got our amazing Bunky Barbara, who hooked us up with some great stuff for Caesars. Yeah. So
Barb is the MVP.
she is. She is. And
Yes.
she's working on some other stuff for us too. I will keep you posted, Keisha. So whatever we're doing, we're adding Keisha. Now,
Yay!
is James coming too, or can we just add Keisha? Or James want to come? He wants to
You
come.
know James is
All right.
yes.
All right.
He's been talking about it more than me.
Okay. All right. We'll include him.
Yeah.
We'll include him.
Keisha +1.
James and Ryan Bailey will be the only two straight males at BravoCon.
That's what James said. He's like, am I going to be like the only guy or the only straight guy? I was like, there's a strong possibility that you may be. He's like, okay.
I took a picture of a guy in the funniest shirt, and he was somebody's husband. He was like holding the purses. This is what we say when we go to Disneyland.
Yes.
I'm the person that holds the purses because I don't go on the rides. He was holding the purses, and he was so lost, and he had on a T-shirt that said like, "My wife made me come to BravoCon." It's hilarious, and he just looks so lost. Like, oh, bless your heart.
I'm gonna have to get a shirt like that made for James because I mean he's so tall too. He's gonna stand out like a sore thumb.
You need to get a logoed T-shirt with your podcast name, and then have producer James on the back, and then get him 4 of those, one for every day.
And he will always do that. He will still wear like a Libra Lounge. He's got Libra Lounge. He has more Libra Lounge T-shirts than I do.
So he needs to get Libra Lounge T-shirts and then put producer James on the back, and then people will come up to him. I'm telling you, that's what happened to me. I had a pink shade T-shirt. People would walk by and go, "I listened to that podcast." I'm like, "Wait, it's me! Stop!" And I was like, "Yeah, like a total like whore for attention." Yeah, nobody's there to see me. But if one person said they knew the podcast, I like jumped on them like it was my one fan in the world. Yeah,
that'll be him.
Yeah. So if he has producer James on his shirt, people will be like, "Are you producer James?" And he'll turn around, they'll see that giant beard, and they'll be like, "Yes, you are."
And he will love every single second of it because he's such an attention whore.
I love it. I love it. You and I will have on our running shoes, and we're going to leave him in the dust.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
We're going to have the best time. So, that's in November. And so we're going to have many, many months to obsess on it and talk about it. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that. All right. Now, I gave you an assignment this week. And so when we get to Justine and Michael, we'll talk about that. But I will tell you, ever since you've been talking about how much you like Montana Millz' nose, I have been noticing people's noses. Okay. So I came up with the nose that I think you'd like. I saw over the weekend. I haven't been in the movie theater since before COVID, but my husband and I went in the theater. Isn't that nuts? And I used to go minimum twice a month to a movie. We had a whole movie club.
Holy shit balls. That's what we're part of too.
Yeah, I saw every Oscar movie, and then we would have the Oscars, so we were very informed. Like sometimes we'd even see the short films, like very into it. And so watch everything on TV now. So Dave and I, my husband and I went and saw Air about the, tennis shoes, about the Michael Jordan tennis shoes.
Oh, was that good?
Keisha is so good.
Is
It's
it
really good. Really good.
okay?
And so we went and saw it. And the whole time I'm looking at Jason Bateman and thinking, I bet Keisha likes his nose. He's got that
Jason
dent in his
Bateman's
nose.
nose.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pay more attention to him the next time I see him and his
Hmm.
nose. Now, it's never just stood out to me before. I mean,
Right.
I like a big nose. Like,
His nose isn't necessarily big, but it's got that dent in the middle like you like.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I love that little dent. Just, I don't know, something
Yeah.
so cute about
Yeah. So that's as I'm watching the movie, I'm completely lost in the moment of Jason Bateman's nose the whole time.
it. So funny.
All right. So now that I've alerted you about that, I'm so glad I didn't forget. We can we can get started. All right. Shawn and Sarah, I'm about sick of this storyline. I'm about sick of this show. I'm about sick of these people.
I am so proud of Shawn.
Okay, me
Look
too.
how far
Yeah,
he has come.
true.
Sarah, I just like her less and less and less and
I
less.
used to really like her.
I
Um,
did used to really like her.
and maybe that's how it goes, just like with Housewives. They have a good season, they have a bad season, they have
True.
a redemption season.
Yes.
Well, Sarah's telling Shawn that she wants Shawn to meet Anthony. And even though Abby really does see Shawn as her dad, that's the only father figure he's ever had. I guess they've been together a year and a half, 2 years now, maybe,
2 years,
you
I
know.
think. Yeah.
And so, also, by the way, today is the day they're going to tell Abby that Anthony's the dad. So it's like Shawn's like, wait, what? And
This
did
is a
Shawn say
lot.
it's a lot? And did Shawn say on the side that he was planning to adopt Abby, but not now?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that they had talked about him adopting Abby so that both the girls could have the same last name.
Abby and
So,
Addie.
what's one more for Shawn to add? You know, I mean, once you have 30 kids, what's 31? What's 32?
He could just go to the grocery store and round up some kids and be like,
Yes, he
you get a
could.
last name, you get a last name.
Right.
You guys, that's an Oprah joke from the
Yeah.
90s. If you're too
Yeah.
young to know what that means, look it up. So Shawn's like, this is just a lot. It's a lot to take in at one time. And Sarah says, I really think it's time to tell Abby. But in my mind, like, Anthony and Shawn have to meet first before this can happen. Now, my note
Okay.
here, which has nothing to do with anything, is why does Sarah have eyebrows above her eyebrows? Have you noticed this?
Everything about Sarah right now is just not on the not cute list. It just is not.
Well, I think what it has to be because we really saw it when she was going to the hospital to have a baby and she didn't have
Just
any of
those
her,
blonde.
yeah, she didn't have her face on. So I
Yeah.
think what happened is a long time ago, back in the day, I think she tweezed them, super thin and super high up. So
Okay.
probably they never grew back under and filled in. And so she fills them
Okay.
in. She pencils them completely in. So it looks like she's got eyebrows above her eyebrows, I think.
Well, she needs to get that shit fixed for, like tomorrow.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, I
as
think
soon as Abby finds out about her dad, she needs to go get those brows fixed immediately.
next stop, I've got to go to the brow bar.
I mean, just fit it into the day, you
I
know.
mean, so I have no idea why, but ever since somebody pointed it out to me, then it's just like Jason Bateman's nose. I'm just focused on it. I'm just focused on it.
I gotta go look now.
So Shawn says he wants to see for himself if Anthony is clean. And also he wants to know why now. Why did he come around trying to meet Abby after Sarah was already married? Well, he's been in prison
Hmm.
and he was in, rehab. That's Luann's line, right? Darling, I've been to prison. I've been to rehab. It's been quite a time. Anthony is everybody on the show is the same. So on the way to meet with Anthony and Sarah, Sarah says, yeah, I'm kind of worried that they're each going to try to be like tough guy and they're going to offend each other. And it's going to be like, they're going to try to like man up or whatever.
She likes that though. I think
She
she
kind of
loves
does.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she kind of does. Talking
Hmm.
head, Anthony says, this is nerve wracking. And as they're walking up, he says, Shawn looks old as hell. He's not Sarah's type at all. And if he tries to keep me from my child, I'm going to fuck him up. I was like, okay, everybody,
You're
we're
gonna
not
love it.
starting
Calm
out.
down. Yeah, yeah.
So we
This
all
dude
know.
is jealous of Shawn
Right. And
because he ultimately wants to be with Sarah.
he needs to examine his life if he's, jealous of Shawn. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Right. Yeah. I can't
Uh,
argue with that at all.
So he walks up and Anthony reaches his hand out and Shawn's like, no, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that. So then Shawn says, now I have a question for you. Now, why after we got married did you just kind of
Mm-hmm.
show up? And Anthony says, why? You think my intention is to come into my daughter's life just to get Sarah back? And Shawn goes, yes, that's exactly what I think you're trying. And you're trying to show you're like dad of the year or something. And
Mm-hmm.
Sarah's like, to Anthony, she goes, he literally just found out yesterday about all this. So
Right.
just like, give him a minute. And um, she says he just found out yesterday you've even been seeing her. So,
Right.
just like, let's just chill out for a sec. So Shawn's like, I just wanted to meet you and get a feeling if it's right or whatever. And I hope for Abby's sake that everything is, cool and kosher or whatever. And he does shake his hand and he says,
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you guys talk. And he walks off. So I think that that's all he could do. And I think that was
It
fine.
is.
I thought it was
It
fine.
totally was. And you could just see that he's not over the hurt from just learning about all of this. I mean, he had tears in his eyes like almost the whole
Yeah.
time. I was like, Shawn, do not let a tear drop in front of this man. You run back to that car and you cried out there, get yourself
Yeah.
together, and then you go back. Maybe that's
Yeah.
what he did because he did leave and come back.
Yeah. I
Um,
think so. I think so.
this
But
Anthony guy is no good.
no, he's no good.
No.
He's no good. He's no good. All right, singing. It's too early. So, okay. So then Anthony says, I'm irritated, and I got to tell you, from being in prison, disrespect is something you don't do, and it's a good thing I'm sober. I just beat his ass. All right, all right. You beat
It's
his
like,
ass because you're half his
stop.
age.
Yeah. And, my thing is like, how about you have some respect for him because he's been the one who's been taking care of your kid?
Totally, like financially,
So,
everything. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
everything. I mean, he treats Abby better than he treats his biological children, okay?
Well, that's
So
true.
maybe a little thank you there, Anthony.
Yeah, yeah. So Shawn sits in the car, like you said, and he says, well, Anthony's obviously doing all right. He seems to have his shit together. Abby really deserves that. And if, Sarah's always told me she just wants Anthony to be doing good so Abby could have him in his life. So if
Right.
that's what Sarah wants, that's what I want. And, he kind of acts mature and pulls it
Yeah.
together. So he
Yep.
comes back and he says, excuse me, and he comes in and he says, hey man, like, I'm sorry. I want to apologize to you. And Anthony says, oh, I just feel like that's a line of shit. And he says, if I want to get back with Sarah, there's nothing that could stop me. And she's like, well, Anthony, we've already had that conversation. I'm married. It's
Right.
too late. And Shawn's like, well, this is pissing me off. So I think Shawn did the right thing to come back and be like, hey, I came in too hot. I want to
Right.
apologize. Like,
Yep.
us getting along could be nothing but good for Abby. And then Anthony's he's already on defensive mode. He's being a
He's
dick.
an
So
he never wanted to meet Shawn. He has no interest in meeting Shawn. He wants to, in my opinion, he wants to see his kid, but primarily he wants to be all up in Sarah's business.
I think
That's how
so.
I feel.
And he wants to wear dumb shirts because
Yeah,
he's
because
weird.
he's most definitely had on a stupid ass shirt. I
A
agree
real dumb
100%.
shirt.
Yeah.
So, so Sarah says, there's going to be events where we're all going to have to be together, and I don't want there to be animosity. And Shawn's like, okay, so I still don't know if like I like you or you like me, but we have to get along for Abby's sake, and we just going to have
Right.
to deal with it as we go.
Yeah.
And then they decide, hey, today's the day when Abby gets out of school, we're going to tell her. It's like, why?
I don't.
Why?
So, how many times do you think he's probably seen Abby?
4 or 5?
Okay, to me, that's not enough times.
I agree.
No, I think it's still way too soon, and the adults don't even have it together yet.
Oh,
It's
for
just too
sure.
much, too soon.
Yeah, you're right. The adults should get it together first.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Now let's go to Justine and Michael. Now, this is the assignment that I gave you, was to find out what the hell happened when Mocha shot an intruder live on television. So go ahead and tell me what happened.
Well, I appreciate your trust in giving me that assignment because all I did was gave the assignment to others. Just like high school. So this story is just really, really, really insane. So we all know Mocha, who also goes by Mocha Blast. But his
Okay.
real name is Lydell Birch, which was the biggest disappointment ever. I thought his freaking last name was going to be Cappuccino, Mocha Cappuccino.
Mocha
I mean,
Blast is the name of a drink at like Dunkin' Donuts for sure.
it
Mocha
is? I've
Blast.
never had a drink at Dunkin'.
I don't know. I'm just saying they have all these drinks that are something
And
blast,
that's
cherry
one of
blast.
them?
I'm guessing, but
Huh,
Mocha
maybe
Blast
that's...
is a real dumb name.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, it
sorry.
really is. Without a doubt, it is. So, okay, we got Lydell Birch. So
Hmm.
apparently he was doing an interview, probably like a podcast, at
Right.
his home. And in the
Hmm.
middle of the interview, a guy breaks into his house and Mocha grabs his gun and shoots and kills the guy while this interview is still going on.
Crazy.
Very crazy. So there's a couple of different stories. I don't know which one is the truth, but I know which one I'm leaning towards. So
Okay.
here's one story. One
All right.
story was that a man and a woman had an altercation, got into a domestic violence situation, and he shot and killed the woman. Then he grabs a bat and starts like going down his street, which is also Mocha Street, like banging on cars and breaking windows and all of that. And then he breaks into Mocha's house, and that's where he gets killed. That's one.
Okay, wait. So
Okay.
the guy and the girl. So he had a gun and shot the girl.
Yeah, that's one version of the story. Is that
Okay,
this
so if
guy
he went,
shot and killed his girlfriend.
okay, but if he went into Mocha's house with the bat, what happened to the gun? Why didn't he have a gun when he went to Mocha's house? I'm not
Yeah,
story number
this is...
one.
No, I
Don't
don't
think.
believe this one. Now, this is
Okay.
the one that I believe. Okay.
Okay.
So Mocha's doing his interview. He's got 2 kids there, not sure if they're his kids or not, and his girlfriend's also there. So
Okay.
for some odd reason, the girlfriend is in the front yard. And the story is they think that she and this guy got into some kind of like word exchange. So he
Okay.
goes back, grabs a gun, not a gun, a bat. And, so there's something to the story with him beating cars with the bat. So I think that most definitely happened.
Okay.
So between the altercation between the girlfriend, we're assuming this is Mocha's girlfriend, the guy goes into the backyard, and that's when he breaks into Mocha's house. And
That just scared the shit out of me. Thank you, Dave.
well, so I saw it coming. I was like, oh, I think that's Dave.
He brought me a glass of water because of my
So sweet.
but I didn't know he was coming because I was so into your story. I didn't see him coming behind me. That scared me so bad. Okay. All right. So the story, okay, let's go back. So there is the story with the bat.
Right.
That's where the bat comes in. So maybe like she was in the front yard with the kids and some dude walked by and said something.
I think
or something.
so. Yes.
Okay.
So then for some odd reason, goes into the backyard, and that's when he breaks into Mocha's house, and that's when, he got himself shot and killed. All right. So what the police are trying to determine right now, they think that Mocha and his girlfriend somehow knew this guy. Okay. So they haven't been able to connect the dots or anything like that, but they think something had gone on earlier to make this guy come back and act like that.
Oh.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see. You've got Montana Millz all on social media saying free Mocha, hashtag self-defense, all of this stuff.
Free Mocha? Did they put him in jail?
He's not in jail. So I looked it up, and so far he's not in jail. So I don't know if like within the last couple of days he's been arrested or what's going on, but that's what Montana Millz has been doing.
Well, I got to say, first of all, it's live. So they've got
all kinds of yeah.
If somebody breaks into your house, you can shoot them.
Yes, you can. Well, in Texas, there's not going to be any questions. It's going to be grab my gun first and start shooting. Yeah. So it's just a very, very weird story. And then someone else, like a couple of other people, have said that this has something to do with Mocha being a big scammer. They say that he's got like this almost like a little mafia crew. And they go around scamming people. So they think that maybe this has something to do with it also. So I guess
allegedly
we'll have to wait and see. All of this is allegedly. Mm-hmm. So I don't know where I'm starting to think there might be a connection with the scamming. I think they probably knew this guy. Mm-hmm. Something went down and this guy like lost his mind and, zooms into the house. So either way, it's sad, but that is just so insane to me.
I know. It seems like the girlfriend would come in and be like, you need to watch out. There's like a dude coming in the back or whatever. Yeah.
And supposedly she's the one who called the police.
Yeah.
So it's all over the place, but I'm sure they're going to connect these dots pretty soon.
Where did this happen? He lives in Vegas?
Vegas. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All
Yes.
right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fine to shoot somebody in your own house in Vegas. I mean, everything goes.
Especially when they break into it. I mean,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
I don't know. Then you're sitting there doing a live interview, and just like you got spooked when Dave came, like I'm sure that scared the hell out of Mocha Cappuccino over there.
Yeah.
So, you got to do what you got to do.
Wow. All
Oh, there's
right.
something else for you about your boy
Okay.
Mike. So
Oh, okay.
someone looked it up. They said that his businesses are non-existent anymore.
Okay.
His net worth is $50,000.
Hmm.
Someone priced the chain that Juju wears, and they said it's $30. So they're like, there's a lot of fakeness going around, which I'm like, that's just with celebrities and reality TV stars anyway. You try to make yourself look like you have way more than
Yeah.
you have. Just
Yeah.
like that $1.6 million house.
1.9. Uh-huh. I don't think so.
And this girl really thought she was about to get that house that day. I'm like,
No, no, no,
Juju,
no.
come
No,
on
no.
now.
Come
Come on.
on.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's all for my investigative reporting.
Thank you, Keisha on the scene. I appreciate
Yes.
your live on the scene, Keisha reporting. Thank you. All right. Justine and Michael are walking around Vegas, and he says, yeah, Mocha doesn't like it that you're pregnant and we're playing house. And she's like, what?
Mm,
I'm so sorry we didn't like consult him before we got pregnant or whatever. They didn't consult anybody, let's be honest.
right.
And he goes, yeah. And so in his talking head, he goes, I'm going to have to pretend to be like a single bastard in order to get my music fame up to the next level. And then Justine tells him, it's like, well, you're going to have to do what you have to do, I guess, but don't sell your soul. And then she says in her talking head, she's like, I really didn't see this coming. I really didn't think he'd be willing so soon to like trade in the family for the career. So
Mm,
she says, so you're going to like publicly diss me? And he goes, no, I'm not going to publicly diss you. And, sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do. And sometimes you
yeah.
have to do things you're not proud of. And she says, yeah, you know what I did? I left my family for 3 years, to move to Pennsylvania to be closer to you in prison. I did all that for you. And everything you do is 95% for you. And
Mm,
if you want to live that double life, it's going to hurt me. And then he goes, well, that's what I did before. And she goes, yeah, but that didn't work out. And so that's
yeah.
what scares me. I worry you're not going to be a present father. With your other kids, you were here, there, and everywhere. And then you were in prison. And then I'm going to have another kid that I'm raising by myself. And so, all good points. All good
All good
points.
points, but she's also encouraging him to move to Las Vegas, which is on the
Right.
other side of the country from all of his kids.
Exactly. So I'm like, so how's he going to be present if he's not immediately moving to Rhode Island where his kids live?
And then she's wanting to move to Vegas, because Kylie's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking so Kylie can still kind of come home and help out with the kids because that's what Kylie does.
Yeah. 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 And is Kylie going to school in Vegas really, or is that just part of the storyline, or I don't know.
God dang it, Mary Payne. There you go, bringing me back to reality because I get all lost in these things. I'm like, this is really happening like right now. You're right. You're absolutely right.
They're currently still in Pennsylvania because she hadn't even graduated high school yet, Kylie,
No,
and the baby's not due till June.
right. So I
It's been the
guess we'll
longest
see.
longest pregnancy in the history of time.
For real, I'm like, are you giving birth to an elephant? You need
I
all
mean,
this
my God.
time? The baby's still baking good.
So, in his talking head, he's like, yeah, I don't know about proposing in Vegas. Everything seems to be kind of going downhill. I'm like, you're already married. So
I know
you're not
it's not that big
proposing.
of a deal.
All
Right.
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 So later she says, I want you to know that I would never take my ring off. And she says, it may not be the best ring in the world, but it means something. And he tells
Mm-hmm.
her, you're my number one. I'm riding with you till the end. So let's go look at houses. So they just happen upon an open house. It just happens to be like lit up and mic'd up, and these people already know. It's not like these people came out of the back like, oh, hey, here you are with your camera crew. I mean, whatever. So they just happened to
They were
drive by
both
this
camera
house.
ready too.
They were ready.
Yeah.
So she says, I found the neighborhoods I want to live in because, Kylie's going to school in Vegas and we have to look up these good school districts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So their budget is $600,000, which is a very good budget.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think, you think about where people on the show that live in Vegas, like Marcelino and Brittany, you think
Right.
about Colty and Debbie, and, I think you can get something decent for that.
Yeah.
I've never even been to Vegas. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Oh.
600 maybe nothing in Vegas. I have no idea.
I
No idea.
think it'll get you it depends on what part of Vegas you live in.
Also, they're not going to live in Vegas proper. They're going to live in
No.
Hendersonville or
Mm-mm.
whatever, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So he says, my music has collected royalties while I've been in prison and the sneakers are selling. And so they go into this beautiful home and they talk about how perfect it is. And she's like, imagine like your mom and your sister's out here and we're grilling. And he's wearing a shirt that says, take it easy on me. My wife is
I
pregnant.
know.
Come
I
on.
know. I'm surprised
So
she
that,
didn't have on the t-shirt said, I'm the pregnant wife with an arrow pointing to her belly. That would have been so
I'm with
Justine right
stupider.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
So they walk around the house and she's like, listen to my pitch. Listen to my pitch. Because they've said the house is 1.9 million and their budget is
Wow.
600,000. Once
Yeah.
again, not a mathematician, but that's more.
Yeah.
And
A lot more.
a lot more. And she goes, here's my pitch. Da, da, da. And he's like, no. He goes, this is 3 times the budget. I originally said 500. Now it's 6, but this is triple that. And she's like,
Right.
and then she says, I got to be honest, money doesn't concern me. This house is a
Real.
contender.
Okay. All
Well, then
right.
you need to go back to work at CVS as your pharmacy tech job. Come on now.
Immediately. Yes. Because I don't know what the hell I don't know what their bank account looks like, but I'm just comparing what their lifestyle is back home. And now
Yeah.
we're all of a sudden wanting to move into a $1.9 million house.
No.
I don't get it.
Mm-mm. So this is like when you watch that show on HGTV, Lottery Dream House, and the people are like, it's people that have won the lottery, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and maybe they've won $1 million or 10 million or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
it's never anything like they're never like the $20 billion winners.
Okay.
And it's that guy on HGTV that's the designer whose name I think is David, and he's got the tattoos up his neck of the tigers, one on each side, which really drives me
Okay.
crazy because he's so cute, and I hate that he's got tigers going up his neck. But he's adorable. But these people are like their budget is always like $500,000, and I'm like,
And they're
okay.
millionaires.
And they're millionaires, and they're always
Mm-hmm.
wanting to just do a slight upgrade to what they have, which is
Right.
smart.
Yes.
But they're like, I want to have a lake view, but we don't have to be right on the lake, just as long as we can see it from like the top floor. And I'm always like, dream bigger.
Right?
So yeah, this is
Spend
like
that money.
Justine. She would be the person on Lottery Dream Home that would be like, we won 1 million, so our budget is 12 million. She
Yes.
would be like,
That
yeah.
is exactly her. Yes.
So
They
he's
will
like,
be back in that little house that they're in right now in no time.
So he says, we could put down a down payment, but then what? Like we couldn't make the payments. Like it would just be work,
Right.
work, more work, and we would never even be in the house. And so she was like, well, maybe you're going to have to take off the ring.
Oh, now it's okay to take off the ring, huh? Because money talks and bullshit walks.
That's right. And he's like, he just looks at her because, so she thinks she wants this big house, but he won't be in it. He'll have to work too much. So it's
He
not worth
has to
it.
work a lot. So someone put, they were talking about the price of the house, and someone goes, how is Justine mom going to afford that house note? Because
I mean,
she's going to have to help.
I mean, come on. I mean, he's going to have to go back into his other business if he wants to afford this house. You know what I'm saying?
No. And you know what? I got to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably not going to get anyone who agrees with me.
Mm-hmm.
If he went back to that lifestyle, I think Justine would be right there with him.
No, I don't think so.
I do.
I don't think so.
I do. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm. Disagree. Okay. Now let's go to Puppy and Amber. And this was very sad this week. Because usually we're feeling bad about Puppy and her problems, but this week we got Amber. So
yeah.
They're in the car, they're driving, they're smoking cigarettes, and they both go, yeah, I want to quit smoking. Yeah, me too. And Amber says, for real, for real. She was like, I want to get back into a normal routine. I want to like work. I want to go to the gym and, I want to get back into routine. And she's like, yeah. So Puppy says, how's it going with the drinking? And Amber says, well, I think it's getting better. It's just so awful. Like it just really kicked off when they told me I had to terminate my pregnancy and it just hadn't been the same since, So they're going into the house and Puppy is worried that TC is going to be mad that she's there. So they walk through the house to see the Christmas tree and Puppy goes, oh, your Christmas tree is so pretty. So they go into the garage / gym / bar where TC is. And she's like, "Hey, TC, how are you doing, TC?" And he goes, "The first thing you say when you walk in my house is, 'Hey, TC, your Christmas tree's fucking beautiful.'" And she goes,
Sorry.
"Your tree it's really pretty. It is." So she's like, "You want to drink? Hey, bitch, you want to drink? You want to drink?" And she goes, "Yeah, I do. Okay." So they get drinks, and Cece's just smoking, and Amber runs to the bathroom. So Puppy's standing there, and Puppy goes, "Hey, thanks for letting me come over and everything." And he goes, "You're welcome. You're welcome. Hey, listen, you just need to keep all that bullshit way out there, like way out there away from my house." And
Right.
she
And my
goes, "Yeah,
tree.
keep that bullshit away from my tree.
Wait for that tree. Yeah.
Don't set up a trap house right by my tree."
No.
And she goes, "Yeah, I'm really trying to make some changes and everything." And so what's going on with Amber? Like, she's trying to get this bar, and what do you think? And he goes, "I think it's a bad idea." And she goes, "Oh my gosh, me too. We agree." And he goes, "She has a drinking problem." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "I don't like confrontation, so I don't mention it to her too much." And Amber walks back out. And she's like, "Oh, y'all talking about me?" And she says, "The problem is, TC, like, we have a problem communicating, and we don't talk about anything ever." And the Puppy's trying to be the peacemaker. She goes, "Amber, sometimes people just have a different way of communicating and it's hard." And Amber goes, "No, I like really feel alone. I lost a fucking baby and I
Yeah.
feel super alone, and I had to go it alone and go have an abortion on a Tuesday and get home on a Wednesday. And then you blamed me for it.
That's
And I
just
had 10
horrible.
appointments in 3 weeks and you didn't make it to one."
That's
And
horrible.
it's horrible. So she really
Yeah.
is going through it, and he really is not
Yeah.
supportive. And I understand that maybe he's not, he even indicated that the reason he got divorced the first time is because he's not mentally equipped to communicate, you know,
Well, he needs to do
and
something about that.
he really does. And I think
Yeah.
he's fine when everything's going great, but when the shit hits the fan, he just shuts down completely.
And shit always hits the fan. I mean, that's just part of life. And
Life.
I mean,
Yeah.
even during that conversation, he just looks like, "Oh, fuck, what do I say? What do I say? Do I say anything? Do I say anything?" Just, he does
Yeah.
not know how to deal at all, which I'm sure he's hurting a lot as well. But
Right.
then express that,
I mean, 10 appointments in 3 weeks for
and
all
you
this
don't
health
go to
stuff.
any.
You don't go to any.
Oh, man.
And she says, "You know what that makes me want to do? Is drink all day long and just do whatever I want to do so I don't feel anything."
Right.
And she indicated that she kept saying, like, "I moved here and I quit my job." So obviously she's in like
Yes.
I didn't realize she had moved to like another like
Yeah.
little town or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
She
didn't realize
finally
that.
let us know that. Well, none of us knew it until she said it, on Friday. I was like, "Oh, okay, that explains it." She actually moved.
She moved and then she quit that good job that she had where she was like the manager of
Right.
that. Yeah, she was doing great.
Yeah.
Um, And Amber says, "Yeah, you want to talk about a drinking problem? Yeah, it's all day long, every day. I feel fucking alone. I don't know what to do. This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I'm hurting and I'm crying and I'm crying. And you just watch me. No hug,
Mm-mm-mm.
no nothing. You don't even come over and say, 'Are you okay?' You don't even acknowledge that I'm hurting." And he
Wow.
just like pounds his fist on the bar. He's like, "I don't know how to deal with it." So she walks out.
Okay.
And Puppy's like, so I'm sorry. So I'm going to get a lift. I should just go." And she tells TC, she's like, like, even if you don't want to talk about it, you could just hold her and you could just hug
Yeah.
her and everything. And he's just like, "Ugh, smoke, smoke, smoke." And so Amber's outside crying, and Puppy goes out there, and she goes, "He doesn't know what to say." And then she's like hugging Puppy and going, "Help me. You just need to help
Oh
me."
my
It's just
God.
really sad because if you were looking to Puppy for help,
Oh,
I
you have
mean,
hit rock bottom.
you got problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next you're gonna call Eric. I mean, my God.
Ugh, yeah, that's pretty. Oh, TC, come on, do better, dude. I mean, even if you don't know what to say, you can sit there and hold her,
I know. And just like say, "I don't know what to say," and just give her a hug, you know?
but and say, "I'm here." I don't know what to say, but I'm here.
Yeah. It's really heartbreaking. Because
Yeah, it is.
Puppy and Amber, we have loved them. Neither one of
From
them
day
have ever
one.
done anything to make us be like, "Okay, they've turned."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We still root for them.
Yeah.
They're still funny to us. But yeah, this one's pretty sad, and you can feel it. I mean, you can
You can
really,
feel that
really feel
Amber
her
is
pain,
really, yeah, she's really,
struggling. Yeah.
mm. All right, somebody else that's struggling, Tayler and Chance. Chance isn't struggling. He's doing great. He's the king of his own kingdom. He's just feeling great about
So he
himself.
thinks that
So he
little
thinks. Mm.
dirty kingdom, because that house is never, ever, ever clean.
No, how can it be? They've got too many people living in there. They've got every surface covered. It's a lot going on in that little house.
And it's all going on that couch
Or in
that
their
they
bedroom,
got.
on that one
Yeah,
bed in their bedroom.
yeah, yeah.
Um, what are those jeans that Chance is wearing? What's happening there with those jeans? They've got like bedazzled pockets.
They're
What's going
from
on?
like,
90s?
early two early
Early
two
2000s?
thousands. The
Yeah.
guys were wearing them. It was real kind of Jersey
Is it kind of Ed
looking.
Hardy-ish? Yeah.
Yeah, and he was in prison, so I guess he thinks that's still in style, even though when he walks around, he sees no one else with jeans like that on.
It's
I
wild.
don't know.
Every
Yeah,
time he turns around, I'm like, man, you've got bedazzled jeans on.
and he thinks he is the ultimate heartbreaker too.
And it's just so hard because he is attractive in the face. He is.
I want to punch that face every
I
time
know.
I
Me
see
too.
it.
Me too. Like I said, when he takes his shirt off, I'm like, ugh. So,
Yeah, he should not. He should keep it on.
Tayler and Bobbie are leaving the house. They said they're going to do something. And she's like,
Hmm.
I'm taking the car and I'm going to take the baby too. So you can just like watch the girls. He's like, where are you going? She's like, I don't, I don't have to tell you, but listen, you can't have anybody over. Okay. He goes, oh, why not? She goes, you don't need to have a party in the living room. Just spend some time with the kids. And he goes, okay, mom. Ugh, and burps.
He's so. Oh my God. I
He's
don't know
so
if he's
gross.
trying to be this horrible and disgusting, so maybe she'll say just leave.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. But it's just it's like, really, dude.
He's
You call
trying to
her
be
mom,
funny
you
in front of
burp.
Bobbie, I think. Yeah.
And she thinks he's simply hilarious. And you could just tell she thinks he's so funny. Not.
Oh, God. So in the car, Bobbie goes, Chance looks like shit and he acts like a child.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Bobbie says, I'm really worried about Tayler. Like, Chance is draining her. She's not
Yeah.
like she used to be. So
Yeah.
they go to a little place to eat dinner, and Bobbie says, tell me exactly what's going on here. So then she tells her about this Jessica thing. And Jessica's one of these
Right.
girls that was sort of, messaging him in prison and stuff. And now there's this new girl on the scene named Tanya. She didn't even tell her
Mm-hmm.
about all the porn on his phone and all that
No.
stuff.
That's no longer even important. We've got real life bitches to be concerned about.
Right. And she didn't even tell her about meeting with the financial advisor and, all that stuff. And
Mm-mm.
she's like, I don't know. I don't want to give up on him because I still love him. And Bobbie says, sometimes love isn't enough. He could be cheating and he's not even trying to make things right with you.
No.
Tayler goes, well, if I find out he's cheating, like for sure, we would be done. And
What
Bobbie says,
what what is for sure for sure? Because
like she's
he's
got to catch him with the D and the P. Like she's got to catch
okay.
him.
Is that okay?
Mhm.
That explains it right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Bobbie says, you're not yourself anymore and you're very stressed out. Like, what are you holding on to here? I mean, what Tayler needs to do is get her payroll job back
Yes, she does.
and put the kids, the ones that could go into daycare, after school care, whatever,
Yep.
and just live your regular life like a single mom. Take that baby to work, while you can.
Yeah.
And have Bobbie move back in. And she's trying to get that,
Yep.
nursing assistant degree and she can help. And that's what
Yep.
she needs to do.
Even though she gets triggered by anything that's hospital related and all that stuff. Remember, that was her reason for leaving the
Right.
birth.
But she's getting a nursing assistant degree. Maybe she's working in just
Uh-huh.
like a doctor's office.
Maybe.
Urgent care. Maybe
Maybe.
she's at urgent care.
Yeah. Hopefully she
So,
won't pass out because someone's getting their blood pressure taken. She's so triggered.
yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. You're right.
No.
So,
Mm-mm.
so he's in the car and he's like, it's obviously the next day. And he goes, I hadn't told her I lost my job, but if I don't volunteer information, is that line? And I found
Ugh.
this job being like basically he's an Instacart driver, right?
Yeah.
He's like
Mm-hmm.
working for Safeway, or he's like a grocery shopper, and he leaves him at the door, and then he gets the $10 tip or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't know what she's going to do if she finds out I'm doing this like shopping list job or whatever. She'd probably be happy you're doing
They're
anything,
doing something. Yes.
right?
Like, ugh. He's just gross and dumb.
Can you imagine if that guy in those jeans and showed up at whatever? All right, so
I'd be like, wrong house.
I'm like, leave him at the door. Don't ring the bell.
Yeah, no
So,
kidding.
so kids are jumping around on the couch with Tayler on her phone. They're like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm playing on my phone," but she's tracking him on the GMC app.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the little girls goes, "Athena said the F word, mom, mom,
Yeah.
mom."
And she's just numb, watching every little mile that Chance is taking. The kids are probably over there selling drugs and drinking alcohol and cussing people out, and she's just tracking Chance. I'm like,
They're over there
dear
folding laundry for
God.
that job that Chance set them up with, folding laundry.
Right.
Yeah,
They don't know they're not getting paid this week.
right. So Bobbie arrives like, "Oh, hey, Bobbie's here, la, 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 la." And so she's looking at the app and she's like, his car is all over the place. Like he's here, he's there, he keeps going to grocery stores. Like, I don't understand. And she goes, he's not at all where he said he was going to be. And Bobbie's like, what should we do about it? So Chance is in the car, excuse me, and he calls up some girl and is like, "Can we meet up?" And she says, "Sure." And Bobbie goes, "We could just pop up and see what he's doing." And so why don't
Mm-hmm.
we call Dad and Kathy to watch the girls? These poor girls. They
I
get pawned off
know.
on Chance and then Bobbie and then Mom. I mean,
They look
so
so like unkept. They look kind of, I don't know if
like no,
neglected is the right word, like, but like no one's taking care of them. They're just fending for themselves,
yeah, yeah, it's Lord of the Flies up in there.
basically.
So they're going to call Dad and Kathy to watch the girls. So now Bobbie and Tayler are in the car. I don't know if they took the baby or not. And Bobbie's like, what exactly is he doing? Like, where are his morals? And
Hmm.
Bobbie, and then Tayler says, he better hope he's not with anybody. And she goes,
Oh boy.
Bobbie looks at her and goes, "You're not going to let him get away with this shit." And then Taylor's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." So girl
And
power in the car.
Taylor's not going to do anything but cry.
I know. I hope
But
Taylor
Bobbie
really
will swing.
I hope Taylor like leans into that voice she gets sometimes when it's not her baby voice. I hope she
Right,
leans
right,
into it
right.
and scares the shit out of that girl. So,
Yep.
all right, here we go. Lindsey, and Blaine.
Oh
I have to
man, what
tell
a
you
shit show.
the funniest thing. So last night was Sunday night, and it was supposed to be the Love Is Blind reunion live on Netflix. Did you
Yeah,
hear
I
about
saw
this?
people are losing their minds about this, and I was like,
Okay.
holy shit balls.
This is something you could report on Libra Lounge with Keisha. So what
Okay.
happened was it was supposed to be live. So you
Okay.
log on to Netflix at 7 p.m. No, 8, 9, 10. Anyway, I can't remember. 7 or 8. I think it was 7 p.m. Eastern.
Mm.
That can't be right. Whatever. It doesn't matter. So you log on, let's say 7 p.m. Eastern, log on, and there's just a screen that says, "Hold on, it's coming. Live show's
Mm-hmm.
coming." And then it never, 3 hours later, still said that. So Matt and Jake of Reality Gaze, our friends, were doing like a live YouTube for their Patreon to
Mm-hmm.
watch it live. So they were going to like everybody, because it was going to start at the same time, no matter what
Oh
coast you were on.
no.
So it was like 4 o'clock where they were or whatever. So they were sitting there. So Matt had driven over to where Jake is staying in OC because he's doing a play over there. And he's like, "I
Mm-hmm.
drove over to the OC," which is like really far, I guess, and a nightmare. Drove over there. They were in the Airbnb. They were ready. And they sat there for 2 hours just talking like,
Oh
"So let me just read the
no.
comments." It was like, so Netflix, not only were all these people like, literally this one girl, and you could feel this pain. Like, it was like, "I got all my kids' lunch ready early. I got my husband to put him to bed. I'm sitting here. I got my wine. Like, I'm ready." Like, people like prepared. It was like an event. And
And
then
nothing.
Netflix just screwed the pooch. They just shit the bed, whatever metaphor you want to use. And people are like, "Oh, people are getting fired." People at Netflix are getting fired.
And
Like,
it's still not available today?
some people said it wasn't available today. Other people were like, if you go to the like episode 12, which was the last
Mm-hmm.
episode, and then you know how Netflix will roll into the next one.
Right.
So they're like, you got to go to episode 12, let it roll into the next one, and then you got to like fast forward to minute 1. I was like, no. But for Matt and Jake,
Uh-uh.
I felt so bad because they were trying to do it live. And what are they going to do? Tell everybody, go to your computer, wait till
No.
12, fast forward. Then you're not watching it live. Everybody's on a
No, you're
different
not.
feed.
Yep.
So they were screwed, but they were trying to do something fun, but people thought it was fun anyway. They just got to hang out with them chatting. It was fun.
Right.
And then Matt like calls me because then Jake had to leave to go to the rehearsals. Then it was just Matt is sitting in Jake's Airbnb by
Oh
himself.
no.
calling me, talking to me on the cell phone, on speaker, on the live, I mean, it was hilarious. It was
That is
hilarious.
so funny.
He was like, I'm not going to put you on the screen because you don't have your face on. I was like, no, I sure don't. I wasn't even planning to watch this bullshit. I was downstairs. So, anyway.
Yeah, people are big mad.
For some people it came on and for some people it didn't. And you could hit refresh and it would be on and then they would cut it off and say, we're sorry, you'll see it tomorrow. I mean, it was a shit show.
How does Netflix drop the ball that hard?
They were not prepared. And people were like, they didn't drop the ball, but it's Chris Rock's live special.
Oh,
they dropped it on Love is Blind. Yeah. So anyway, the point of all of that was I had Love is Blind on the screen here in my office, the TV, the actual TV. I had Netflix Live, right? Then I had on my computer in my lap, I had Love After Lockup in one corner and my notes in the other corner. So I was taking notes on Love After Lockup, but got my eye on the TV in case this comes back on.
It comes on.
Then I had Jake and Matt on their live on my phone sitting next to me just in case something happened over there. That's what I was doing. So I'd paused my Love After Lockup because something happened on my screen with Netflix. Like it came up for like a minute. I had paused it, and the picture I paused of it on Blaine, I cannot.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna put it up with this episode. I didn't mean to. I just paused it, and this is what it looked like. Can you see that? Y'all, this picture of Blaine, he is doing like that Elvis, like one lip, one side up. He's like growling at her. He is so mad at her.
Yeah, and she deserved that look.
She lost her ever loving mind. Now listen, I'm going to say this before we even get started. Lindsey, we've all been there. Every woman in the world has been there. We are every woman. It's all in me. We are all doing everything. And by the way, Lindsey, nobody gets where they're going, and nobody gets their lunch packed. Nobody buys the Christmas presents. Like, yes, it is all on you.
That's what. Well, how about the simple fact that people have been doing what she should have been doing for years?
Yeah, her kid is 14 now.
Her kid is 14. Come on. Yeah. I'm like, there's always been someone doing something for you, including when you were in prison. Welcome to the real world, bitch. This is it. This is how it goes.
Do you think will this give her some empathy for her grandmother who's been taking care of her daughter? Like,
no, it hasn't so far.
And think about how old that lady is trying to take care of like a toddler.
Yes, yes, that was a lot on her.
Yeah, and by the way, she was buying all the Christmas, and she was getting people to and from, and working a full-time job,
and paying all the bills and this and that. Yeah. Lindsey's just self-absorbed.
Well, I just think that she's never had it like this, and all of us are just like, yeah, welcome to Tuesday. I mean,
this is what goes on. Yeah, God forbid if she has to go to the grocery store too.
But she'd
lose her whole mind.
God.
She would have got a chance for that delivery service of groceries.
Better pay that $10 Instacart.
Right.
So at the log cabin, Lindsey is saying, everything is my job. And if I don't come up with it, it doesn't get done. And then she punches the garage. Now she's bawling, crying in the bathroom. And she says, all of y'all can just figure out how you're going to get back and forth places, how you're going to pay your bills, how you're going to buy your Christmas stuff and get your shit. And everybody can figure out shit on their own. I'm just done with everybody, man. I was like, again, welcome to Thursday at my house. I mean,
She has no idea.
He just walks out and is mad, and in the bathroom, she's crying, and she says, life was easier when I was in prison and it was less stressful. And now she does the right thing. She calls her sponsor because she's in recovery. And so she's having a breakdown. So she calls her sponsor. And she tells her sponsor, I've just worked all these hours and I feel like Blaine is not pulling his weight. It's the first time I've been really triggered in a long time. And I just feel like I'm having a big setback. And when she's on the phone, did you see her knuckles all scraped up from punching the garage?
No, was she? That's what she gets.
Yeah.
I was like, take care of this too. I've got to put my own Band-Aids on and my own peroxide.
She just buy me the Neosporin.
Because she has no idea where that kind of shit is.
It's in one of those boxes. So her sponsor says, look, everything can't always be on you. You can't
Yep.
drain yourself to take care of everybody else. We
Mm-hmm.
have learned this is not healthy for us. And
Mm-hmm.
that is true. When you feel this way and you feel overwhelmed, you do got to take some time for yourself. Like
Yep.
my therapist told me, what do you do for fun? And I said, watch TV. And then she said, what do you do for work? And I said, watch TV. And she goes, okay, so what you're going to have to do is find something
It's
else
right.
for fun. So what is it? I don't know yet. So
We'll discover it
it's
soon.
it's watching Succession, and I just
Is that
love it
another?
so much. Oh, I watched a
Is
little
that
bit this
another one I
morning.
got to add? Because you got me hooked on Yellow Jackets.
Girl, Yellow
Yeah.
Jackets. And when you
Yeah.
really want to go deep, you got to go to A Date with K and K on YouTube, Kimberly and
Mm-hmm.
Katie, and
Okay.
you can watch their season 1 breakdown. And then
Okay.
now they're doing recaps after live on YouTube on Sunday nights after each
For
episode.
season 2.
But
Okay.
yeah, but the season 1 breakdown where they really get into all the symbolism and what this means and what that means and who this
Oh,
is and who
because
that
I
is.
need to know those things. Yeah,
You could
I need to
you
know.
could we also did it on Patreon, and I could send you those episodes. Okay, so
Okay.
I won't make you pay $5 for them.
You are too
So
kind. You're too good to me.
last night I joined Jake and Matt's Patreon for $5. I was like, I'm joining it just so I can troll the chat. I was trolling that chat. I was like, Jake and Matt, I want my $5 back. This is some bullshit.
That's so
Netflix is, yeah.
funny.
They were like, quit trolling. All right, let's see. So Lindsey says, I don't know how to handle this. And she says, you need to learn how to take a break and you have to take some time for yourself. Now, Blaine is sitting on the bed with that one lip up, just furious.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah.
heard all this, because
Yep.
that log cabin doesn't have insulated bathroom
Yeah.
doors.
No.
And he says, I don't even know what to say right now, Lindsey. All of us are going through a lot. And, I wanted to have a good time today at paintball, but I guess it was just too good to be true.
Oh.
And she says, what else can I possibly do? How much more can I give? How much harder can I try? And it is not fair. It is breaking me down. What have you done this week? What task have you completed? I was like, uh-oh. Did she put a list on the...
Yeah.
Did you give him a list, or is he just supposed to know?
I think
Because...
he's just supposed to know.
And meanwhile, he's just got his leg hanging off the bed charging that ankle monitor. I
Damn
just don't
ankle
understand why these
monitor.
people can't get an extension cord. I don't get it.
Do you think maybe they just do it like that for like the theatrical effect of it? Like, oh boy, I've got to just sit here and let this thing charge. That would be my excuse for not doing shit. Like, I got to let this thing charge. Can't do those things.
I
No,
would
I
get a
can't go
car
there.
charger. I'd get a car charger
Right?
and go sit. I would have a charger wherever I go. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So he's like, this is complete bullshit. And he says, even though I can't do as much as I used to, he says, I have provided for her when no one else would.
Yes,
And
he
now she's
did.
got to do her part and she has to pull her weight and she acts like she deserves a cookie for it.
He was spot on.
He says, but honestly, I think she's being an ungrateful bitch. Now, you took it one step too far, Blaine. We were with you until you started name calling. Now, come on now.
But she was being an ungrateful bitch, Mary Payne.
Well, I think she was just being, I would have said spoiled brat. Spoiled brat.
But she was in there talking mad shit about Blaine. That's why she got the bitch card.
Well, Blaine's on tether. He can only do what he can do.
Yeah, and then it's winter, he can't work. I mean,
yeah.
It just...
So she's walking around and she says, let's just see if you keep the lights on without me. So,
yeah, I didn't like that. I was like, now, Lindsey, you going too goddamn far by doing, let's see if you can keep the lights on without me. It's like, she was being major.
Let me tell you what, Blaine is not scared of Lindsey.
I don't think so either.
Scott was terrified of her. Blaine is not scared. He didn't even flinch when she started punching that garage. He's like,
no, he's used to it.
He's like, this is a rental house, Lindsey. Come on now.
We're not going to get our deposit back now.
And Molly Grace had said she wanted to see where they were and see where she was going to be living and stuff. But obviously she's back at her mom. So thank God she wasn't there to see this display.
Yeah, I think she needs to stay right over there with her great grandmother. That's the best place for her.
So he says, now I don't want to jeopardize my freedom and I'm not supposed to leave the house at night, but she is pushing me to my limit. And when you put pressure on a pipe, it's going to blow. So he packs up a duffel bag and she's outside smoking. And she says, don't you leave in my vehicle. I will report that bitch stolen so quick. You be in prison before the morning. Try me.
So back to the ungrateful bitch part. That would have been a deal breaker for me.
He's not scared of her. He is not even fazed by this craziness. He's not even, because he saw her in her crackhead days. So he's like,
yeah, so he's seen it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm like, great. So every time I do or don't do something that she doesn't approve of, she's going to threaten to call, like turn me in for something.
Right.
I didn't like how she did that. I'm like, okay, you know what? Now you really are being a bitch. Just go take a nap.
Yeah, you're right. You shouldn't threaten to call the cops on somebody that's on tether. Yeah, that's not cool. You're right. I didn't take that into account. So he goes back in the house with his duffel bag. And so she's loading up these 3 orange looking suitcases that really seem to be empty because she is flinging them around. So she's loading up these 3 suitcases, but then he's in the bedroom talking to the producers. The same suitcases are right behind him.
Oh, come on, Matt Sharp. Come on,
Matt Sharp.
Do better.
He says he asked the production to unmic him, right? So then we see her getting in this car that she was just loading the suitcases in with the dog and the cat smashed between all the stuff. And it's packed to the ceiling. I was like, so when we saw her, she was throwing those 3 empty suitcases in, and now it's filled to the ceiling with boxes and stuff. I think these were filmed out of sequence because I think that these are boxes she unloaded into the house. I don't think she just took them out of the living room and reloaded them back into the car.
But you have to know, her driving around with that cat loose did something to my soul. I was just like,
the cat was pretty well. The cat was well behaved. It was just
because my cat would have been going batshit crazy. He would have been on my head while I was trying to drive and all kinds of he would bitch, where are we going? It's in the middle of the night. Take me back home where my food is, where my water is. And then every time that cat will meow, I'm like, James, where's Liam at? And he's like, Keish, it's the damn cat on the television. I'm like, oh, my bad.
Does your cat meow at cats on the television?
Absolutely not. No. Mm-mm. But he'll have a full-on conversation with a human in a minute.
And that dog was in the backseat like, let's go.
I was like, the babies aren't safe in that car with crazy Lindsey driving. I was concerned for the animals. I'll say that. Yeah.
But, he does say, he says, I can't worry about her leaving at any given moment. She's just, I can't do, he says, I can't deal with a wishy-washy woman. I was like, that's the name.
He said that before.
It's the name of your album, Wishy-Washy.
Oh, let's start planning the video shoot right now, Mary Payne. But I don't blame him. He has made that very vocal that he does not like to be abandoned. And what does she keep doing? Abandoning him. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So she drives over to her grandma's house, and he calls her on the phone, and he's like, Lindsey, you hurt me. You hurt me so bad. I love you, Lindsey. Please don't go anywhere, Lindsey. Please come home. I love you. And he's really crying.
Yeah.
And she says in her talking head, she goes, I have nothing left to give. I am empty. It is rock bottom for me. Now, of course, she's going to go back and listen, you know what you should do? Get a chore chart. Get a chore chart. Yeah. Sheena and Brock have one above their stove on Vanderpump Rules. They have a chore chart, literally for adults. But it says brush teeth, make beds. Yeah. like they're toddlers, but they are grown people.
That is so funny.
They could use one. And if Blaine just checks some things off of his chore chart, she might feel better about it. And also, and that's stressful. Yeah.
That is very stressful. I honestly think she needs a cigarette and a nap. Mm-hmm. I think she's just tired and just needs to go she needed rest, and she didn't know how to articulate that.
It's like a toddler that has a fit and you don't know what they need. What they need is a nap.
And they're sleepy. They need a nap. Mm-hmm. Yes. We'll see next week.
I think that's right. But I think also she works that 11 to 6 shift or whatever.
Which is hard.
And then she gets home and maybe she hangs out with Miley, gets her ready for school, whatever. And then she's got to have to sleep for 8 hours in the middle of that day.
Yeah.
That's rough. It's rough when people are on opposite shifts like that. Real rough.
Yes, it is. Yes.
All right. So Marcelino and Brittany. All right. Stu produced. So Marcelino makes her what he calls drunk toast, like you're still drunk
Right.
in the morning. Now, does it seem like their bedroom is attached to the kitchen?
Yeah, that bedroom had a lot going on, whether it was attached to the kitchen or not.
It,
It
it's
was, what was it? What?
it
It
reminds
was
me
just a
of
lot.
Tayler and Chance's bedroom.
It did, but
It's like the shit
cleaner.
you yeah, it's cleaner, but it's like the shit you
Yeah.
hang up when you're 18 in your college
Yes,
dorm.
it was.
Yeah,
It's like they went to Five Below and said, "This is where how we're gonna decorate our bedroom. Everything from Five
right.
Below."
But their main living area and stuff is very clean and everything. I guess they just
That
say
bedroom, I guess that's where they wanted to express everything, was in
something.
that
Yeah.
bedroom. Yeah.
So he gives her some toast, and anyway, I was like, "Is this like a bedroom they made into a dining room? They made into the bedroom? No, but there's a bathroom there." This is me just writing it down. Maybe it's just off the kitchen. Like I'm trying to figure it out. So she asked Marcelino, change your glasses. I hate when you wear those. She is not into his transition lenses
I
at all.
hate transition lenses.
I do too. And you know that girl on Seeking Brother Husband, she's always in her transition lenses. She's trying to
Oh,
get
does she wear
a
those?
second dude to bang her. She's got to take those
Oh.
transition lenses off.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
something about them. No offense to anyone who wears them. They're just kind of, no
In my
for me.
sister's wedding pictures, my dad looks like he's wearing sunglasses. It is so awful. Thank God he got
That's
rid of
so
those by the time I
funny.
got married. Yeah. So he changes his glasses. So they're talking and he's like, "Oh, last night was good or whatever." And she's like, "I know you can do better. Like, I know that you could work on this, whatever." And
hmm
she's like, "I just want you to act like you love me and want to be with me. You have to act like it. You have to show me acts of service or whatever."
That's just too much directions. Like, you know what I mean?
No, he was cheater, pumpkin eater with those porn stars and stuff. So I have no sympathy for him. Mm-mm.
Okay, I kind of forgot about the cheating.
Yeah, don't forget.
You're
Don't
right.
forget what he did.
I
Don't
forgot
forget what
about
he
the
did.
cheating. I forgot about the cheating. Yes, 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 yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Yes.
So Gio, so cute, age 8, and
Yeah.
Marcelino are going to go have a daddy day, which is just so cute.
Yes.
He's adorable, and they're just kind of walking around the neighborhood. And Gio has been told by production what to say, so he says, 100%, 100%. And he says, "You should buy some flowers for mom." And he goes, "Oh yeah, why do you think I should buy flowers for mom?" And she goes, "That way you'll stop fighting because she seems sad and both of you seem sad."
hmm
And Marcelino says, "We're just trying to get adjusted to being in Florida. Like, do you know what that means?" And then we get Gio gets a talking head. Gio gets a talking head. He
Right.
says,
Yes.
"I'm a little sad because mom and dad always fight, and I just want them to get along." And Marcelino tells him, he goes, "Mom and dad fighting is sort of like your behavior chart, right? Like you have real good days and you have bad days. And so
hmm
we're just trying to work on it." And Gio says, "That lady over there with the fanny pack and the microphone told me to say this. I remember when you guys had a wedding and everyone was so
Oh.
happy on that day. And that lady told me to say, I think we should have another wedding."
And my big dumb ass, I'm like, that Gio is really something special. He has walked this earth before. Look at him spitting out all that knowledge.
Now, come
And then
on.
Mary
He was
Payne.
4. Come on.
But do you remember when he was really little, he would say things, I'm like, oh, like he's really smart. He must be GT. Like, why
Mhm.
do you have to ruin it for me every time? Let me live in this false reality with these people.
Now, he may have said, "You should buy mommy some flowers." He may have said that, but
You
he
think
did
those were
not
his only
say, "I
true?
think you need to have a vow renewal." Now, come on. The 8-year-old did not come up with vow renewal. He doesn't
And
know
I
you
just
can have 2
believe it.
weddings.
I'm like, this is so great. This poor kid's giving his parents advice. And then Mary Payne shoots it all down because it's
I'm
fake.
sorry, that's what I'm
Damn
here
it.
for. Mm. So
Yes, 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 yes.
now let's go to your favorite couple, Monique and Derek.
Derek. She just loves some Derek. She just loves him so, 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 so much. She's obsessed with him.
Hmm. He's our
hmm
little pocket boyfriend. Yeah.
You know what?
So,
Something I noticed is
hmm
that it's enough that he looks little,
hmm
but then he has no ink on him at all. Like he's smooth like butter. There's no tattoos.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You are right. He doesn't even
Yep.
have like a bicep
Mm-mm.
tattoo. Nothing.
Mm-mm. Nope. He is like literally his body looks like just smooth, creamy butter. I'm like, he is just because I was looking, I was like, he's got nothing on him. No
You're
tats, no. branding, no nothing.
Does she
None
have
of the stuff
tattoos?
you usually. I'm sure Monique has tattoos.
It's weird that he doesn't have any tattoos.
None. Mm-mm. He's
Yeah.
not old enough.
Oh, Keisha. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So he's in there making a big breakfast for Monique. And so now we see her. She's locked herself in the bedroom, and her sister calls and says, like, what's been going on with Derek? And she's like, well, he had to sleep on the couch last night because, I'm looking at his phone and there's girls in there, and then he wouldn't let me look at phone number 4 and whatever. And so Calandra goes, so he's still on that same bullshit, huh? And she was like,
Yep.
mm-hmm. So he gets her flowers out of the trash and he lights some candles and was like, Monique, come out here. You're going to think this is cute. Come on now. Come on now.
That was so funny when he said that. You going to think this is cute. I'm like, she will.
So she did. She did. She fell for it. So comes out of the bedroom. She goes, are those the flowers out of the trash? He goes, yeah, they still smell good. Come on now. So he's got her some pancakes and strawberries with whipped cream, and he's making her this food, and she's like, I'll try it and I'll see if it's good, whatever. All right. And he tells her, now you just need to trust me now. You need to trust me. You don't trust me.
Mm.
And she goes, let me see your phone and give me your password. He goes, we ain't got to do all that. Now he gets out the phone that he has cleaned. He's got 4. Yes. He gets out the phone he's cleaned. And she goes, now look at all this. Now see, all this is all just family and friends. She goes, what's this number? Who's Steph? Mm-hmm. He goes, that's a friend of mine. That's my homie. So she calls the number, and it's a guy. And he's laughing. He's like, oh, my God, she thinks everything's a girl, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And so she was like, all right, Derek. So then he puts on an apron and comes down the stairs, and just his underwear and an apron. It was like, feel me, all of this. You want all of this? Ooh, yeah. This is, I guess, this is where you figure. Yeah, and she does. And this is, I guess, where you figured out that he didn't have any tattoos. But I just
yes, it was. I'm like, there's nothing on him. There's not even like any kind of blemishes on him. I'm envious of his skin. Like it is smooth. It is like perfect skin. I'm like, well, no wonder why she loves him so much.
Yeah. And then he feeds her some pancakes.
No, what? No.
We're skipping over that. And he says,
well, no, here's the thing. It took me back to, and I think I posted it, he was acting like a feeder.
Yep, he was.
You don't want me to say that?
Well.
I didn't like that. It made me uncomfortable. I didn't like that he did that. Like, I'm like, no, don't do that.
I agree. It's a little fetish-like. And I don't
I don't like that. Like that of all the shit that we have seen on this show, that made me highly uncomfortable. I was like, no, I don't like it at all.
Because he's feeding her and saying, like, rub all over me. And then he says, she's stigmatized, and now she won't remember about the phone anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
It was, I was like, no.
Monique, know your worth. It is not this guy. Like you said to your sister. Like you said to your sister, if he doesn't want you, somebody else will. And I know you could put a lot of time and everything into him, but this guy ain't it. Check back in a year. Check back in a year when he's got this all out of his system. You know?
Exactly. And that's what we say all the time. It's like, they have been caged animals. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, let them go do all the stupid things, sleep with other women, let them enjoy their freedom. And it's like the people on the free world are not willing to do that for some odd reason. Then they wonder why they're running amok. Like, well,
running amok. So they get dressed up for dinner, and they both look very nice. And I think they look real cute. And in his talking head, he says, I love Monique. L-U-B, love. I love her. He says, she has a love for me like I've never had. And I know I hadn't been the best, and she deserves love. And I want to make her my queen and my wife. So listen, somebody is a narcissist when they say, I've never had anybody love me. And he talks about how much she loves him. He doesn't say anything he likes about her other than what she does for him.
And Part of
Not
me
I love her
wants to,
heart, I love her work ethic, I love her family,
yeah,
nothing. It's all
none of
about
that.
what does she do for me? Yep.
I have to wonder it because we've seen, Derek's one side of his family. We know how they are.
Mhm.
And then we heard the story about how his mom was. I don't know if he actually knows what it's like to fully love someone like that.
Right. Does he have an
I don't think he
example of a good
knows.
does he have an example of a good relationship?
Probably not. I don't
I
think he really knows what love is.
I wonder
For
if
one thing,
Big Ma, was in a marriage for a long time. I mean, I wonder,
I don't know. I mean, and like Monique said, money is his love language.
Yeah.
So it's all about
That's
what
right.
you do for me. And
Yeah.
child, Derek is a whole damn mess. Someone else actually messaged me and said, you know what? You know who we need for Derek? They were like, we
Hmm.
need Indy's mom to get on Derek's ass. And I'm
Somebody
like,
wrote me and said when that knock on
ooh.
the door comes, it better be Indy's mom.
Get that boy some act right, because he needs it big time.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So funny. So, do you ever see people post about Indy's mom, like singing and stuff? It's like
Oh, yeah.
singing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
she can
Yeah,
sing.
yeah.
Yolanda, we need you. All right. So, and that hot son, remember that son, John? Woo.
I'll have to
Indy's
break all
brother.
that. I'll have to break all that down for you later.
Okay. All right.
Some shit went down. Yeah. Hmm.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So they're in the car and they're going up to the club. It's another terrible angle in the car. It's not a good angle on Monique in the car. And I don't know why they do her like this. I
I
almost,
don't either.
because she had on a real cute outfit.
Hmm.
So they go up to the club and it must be like 5 in the afternoon. It's totally dead.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, nobody gets popping in here till like 1 in the morning. He's like, well, this is your
What?
speed. He was like, this is your speed.
Yeah.
No one's here
My
but
speed.
us.
That's my speed too.
So funny. And so there's this girl bartender, bottle service girl is coming up. She's kind of
Hmm.
hanging around. And Monique goes, you poured our drinks. You can go. And it's so funny. And he keeps going, this is my girlfriend. This is my girl. Oh, yeah. And he's like kissing all, I love her. He's kissing all over her. And the girl's like, how long y'all been together? He's like, oh, 2 years. This is my girl. 5 years, whatever it is. So
He said
he
that's my
says,
girl because she gonna pay for all the drinks. That's
so,
my girl got it.
so Monique keeps going like, go away. And he goes, what? I told her you're my girl. I told her you're my girl to go away. And she's like, she needs to walk away. And he's like, Monique doesn't know about bottle service. These girls get paid to be flirty. I was like, when was the last
Yeah.
time you were up in the club? You've been in prison 10 years. Come on now.
That's true too. But I have a feeling he's been partying it up while Monique has been in Chicago.
Heck yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Heck, he
Yeah.
got this driver's license and he can get in wherever he wants.
True.
So, the girl's kind of hanging around. And so he's like, let's get this picture. Let's get this picture. And that girl like jumps in on the side. It was so funny. So then he says, yeah, up here in this club, like the temptation is real. And then they
Right.
show these girls at the bar. And then he goes in the bathroom and we hear
Mhm.
like, hee, 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 hee. But we don't know if anything happened. We don't know if
I don't
anything
think anything.
happened.
I don't think anything happened because they would have been all over that.
Yeah.
Matt
Yeah.
Sharp would not miss the opportunity for something to pop off in that club that night. So I
You're
think
right.
it's fake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's fake too. So because they didn't follow up.
No.
So next day she's cleaning the kitchen and says, Derek, you got to come help me. He's like, I'm working out. He's down there on that like elliptical or whatever.
Yeah.
And so she says her sisters are going to come over. So he says to her, well, how do you feel about last night? And she was like, it was fun. It was good. Other than those thirsty bottle girls. And,
Mm-mm-mm.
and he goes, how'd I do though? How'd I do? I was telling everybody you're my girlfriend. And she goes, you get a B. And he goes, oh, she don't even know how it is. She didn't even know. The girls and bartenders get paid to get flirty, whatever. And then I screwed one in the bathroom. It was fine. So
Potentially.
allegedly. So now he says, this is right before her sisters are coming over for brunch. He says, now you remember when I was locked up, you said you're going to do a threesome with me.
Oh, God.
And when we going to do that? And she goes, yeah, I may have said that, but that was before the cheating. And this is not a conversation we're going to have. We're not doing that. I have changed my mind. Things
Right.
change and you broke that trust. He's like, now come on now. Now come on now. That'd be good for the relationship. That would be fire.
He's such a
Oh
child.
my God. And she goes, She goes, being with him is like being on a roller coaster. One minute he wants
Yep.
to be committed, and the next minute he wants a threesome. He just
And
wants to
here's
have
the
it
thing.
all.
And here's the thing. He's probably not tall enough to even get on that roller coaster. So.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So she goes, oh, a threesome. Okay, so all right, we'll do a threesome. What if I want another man? What another man? He goes, oh, now you're being spiteful. Now you're just being spiteful.
It's
So
so silly.
funny. So now the family comes over. We got Calandra, we got Sylvia, and we got Stacy. Stacy is a guy. Is Stacy married to Calandra? We don't find out
They
anything
didn't give
about
us
Stacy.
any information. I don't know if he was a cousin. I mean, her brother. You just this is Stacy. That's all we got.
And I rewound it because I was like, maybe he got like a Chiron and we didn't see it. But nope, just this is
Nothing.
Stacy.
Yep.
Stacy's like, I got a real job. I don't want anybody to know I'm associated with y'all. Don't put my name on the screen.
I'm here for this quick little gift certificate, and I'm gonna bounce.
I
I'm
get
on
my
my
Amazon
way,
gift card and my brunch, and I got to go.
and I'm out. Yep.
So Calandra says, so are you here alone? Because, your sisters are writing me on social media saying they're coming.
Oh, of course they would be doing that.
Why are your sisters writing me? He goes, no, of course not. Of course, I came by myself. I wasn't going to bring my sisters. She goes, why are they writing me saying they're here? And he goes, they're crazy.
Yeah.
They are crazy. It is too much drama. It is too much bullshit. They are crazy. I came alone. And then you hear,
knock, knock, knock.
oh my God. It's the doorbell. Oh my God. Who's it going to be? It's literally just going to be another cousin or something. It's not going to be not going to be the girl from the club.
No.
It's not going to be Sister Elizabeth.
Because she'd be banging on the door with both fists banging.
Pinwheeling her arms in there.
Answer the door, ho. You know it's me. Come on, swing, ho. I'm ready to swing. No, it would not be a simple ringing of the doorbell with Sister Elizabeth at all.
Yeah. So who is it?
I think, like you said, a cousin, or is someone related to Monique.
Yeah. This just comes over.
Or it could be Chance with the Instacart delivery at the door. Who knows? But it's not the sisters, no.
Chance.
Right?
Instacart, you only tipped 5% on the app. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, next week it looks like Brittany and Marcelino are gonna, get re-engaged, do a vow renewal. She says she thinks it's too soon. And then we see Eris's dad comes to visit, and Eris's dad says to Cameron, you guys just need to calm down. You ain't even got kids yet. And of course, she's out there trying to fluff out her jumpsuit to make herself not look 8 months pregnant. Oh my God, she's so pregnant.
I mean, she's got pregnant face. She's got everything about her says I'm pregnant. You know what I mean? So I don't.
Yeah, I mean, last week she said she was 16 weeks, so she's got to be 4 months at this point. She's pregnant.
Yeah. And you always show quicker with that second baby in most cases. Yeah. I mean, she's so obviously pregnant. So I don't know why she's even trying to hide it.
So then Lindsey says, let's don't deal with the issue. Just get out of my face. Okay, that's what she says to Blaine. Okay.
She was, maybe she was talking to the cat. She's still driving.
She looked like she's talking to Blaine, who's stuck in that house. And Tayler yells at Chance, you're being a fucking jackass. And he says, I don't give a goddamn how you feel. And she just cries in the car with Bobbie. And are we going to get rid of Chance once and for all? I don't think so.
I think I just posted it on Instagram that they were, and she actually looked pretty cute. Okay. The two of them posted a picture together. No, she's standing by her man.
Well, listen, if he can just get on like a good job or whatever, like working on a house or something, like a long-term job, and then stop going by 7-Eleven and buying those big gulps, everything will be fine. All that gambling, all that $800 a day on the gambling is also a problem.
Oh, yeah. She needs to just take his debit card and all his credit cards.
I wonder, and this is terrible, but I wonder when her first fiance with the father of her first two kids died, I wonder if she gets any money to help with the kids from that estate or something. I mean, when I say estate, I just mean like whatever job he had or whatever.
Well, she gets, the government will give you a check for those kids too. So she's got some kind of
You mean because the
support.
dad died?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So
okay.
they get she gets some money from that for sure. And she probably gets child support for the little one.
Hmm.
The only one she's not getting any help for him is Chance. And he's
Is the
living in
dad
the
that
damn
lives in the
house.
house? Yeah, the dad that lives in the
Exactly.
house with the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She's got to go back to payroll, and she's just got to at least work part time. She got to do something. She's got to
She's
start
got to
selling
do
Mary
something.
Kay. She got to start doing something.
Something, yeah, because she cannot bank on Chance at all.
She's got to just drive for Uber Eats, put that baby in the back of the car, and drive for Uber Eats. She's got
Do
to do
what you got to
something.
do. Yeah, I
Mm,
agree.
mm, mm. All right. Well, we already told you guys, but you want to make sure you're listening to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. She's going to break down all the pop culture for you. And
Yes.
make sure you listen there and follow Keisha on Instagram as well. Follow us because we're pretty
Yes.
good. Pink Shade
Yeah.
Pod over there on Instagram. And what else? Oh, we are announcing today about our new collaboration with Supercast. And we're going to be putting a special show only on Supercast. It's going to be Indian
Mm.
matchmaking with Kimberly. That'll be, so if you're already on Patreon, you'll be getting a coupon code today that will encourage you to move over to Supercast. Everything that's on Patreon is already over there on Supercast waiting for you, but you'll get a discount code. And Supercast, we have found, is just a better product for customer service. Like if you have a problem, you can call a human on the phone who'll help you.
Oh, wow.
Wow. We have found Supercast to be a superior product, and we are really excited to team with them. So if you don't like how it's going over there on the customer service and everything that happens on Patreon, go on over and join Supercast. You'll get a coupon code for that. We encourage everyone to do that. If you like Patreon and you want to stay there, that's fine. We'll continue to be on Patreon as well. So follow us on Instagram at Pink Shade Pod. Follow us on Patreon or Supercast at Pink Shade Bunkies. And I guess that's all the announcements. And Keisha and I will continue every Monday to talk about love during lockup. And I did get the
Yes.
scoop that there's 2 more episodes of this show.
So are we going immediately into love during lockup when this season of Life ends?
I have asked that question and have not
Okay.
gotten an answer. But if I know by
Really?
next week, I will tell you. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm always
Awesome.
trying to get the scoop, and it's not always coming my way. Sometimes people are like, stop asking questions and just be happy with what you get. But I'm that girl. All
They
right,
don't know
Keisha,
you're an
thank
executive
you.
producer.
They don't.
Thank you.
They
They don't
don't
know
know.
you're like an executive producer of the damn show. Like, come on.
Yeah, executive producer, LOL. All right. I'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.